Yeah. Nah, man. You know we gotta do a joint for the ladies, right? So every club worldwide, we gonna move y'all like this. Come on. Down, down, down. Hey girl. Hey girl. Hey girl. Hey girl. Hey girl. It's Friday night when the club lines be out the door. Watch the silly.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Man. You know, I like that. Yeah, that's okay, man. I like that, man. That was kind of what they called the lead into a prior show. Marco turned away and forgot. I love this part. I enjoy the moments like this because
we mix all
I
kinds
like
of
it.
stuff.
I like it. I like when it doesn't go as planned.
Look how many seconds I just.
I know that. That's good.
That was kind of cool.
All right. Welcome to Hot PiXX, you guys. Hot PiXX today is a little different than normal. You thought I was going to be bringing the selfies again. I'm going to come back to that because there's so many of them. I decided to go into the lane, memory lane, even times where we may have to say, but was social media even around? Computers really for the average consumer around? Well, today we're going to deal with the classic black and white look. Go back everything that I call pre-1970. So you're going to actually vote on what I call these beautiful women who had a brand. And the focus is their photo or the look they had was their brand. It was a jumping off point. And since it goes pre-1970, it's only part one. Because I already got part two, of course. So they're all 10s. I know you guys are going to vote all 10s. But what you're going to do, if we had the site up, you're going to go, whether it's glamorous, hot, sexy, whatever, classy, that's cool. But you're going to come out of here saying, when this person's picture was displayed, when I seen it, its brand affected me more than the rest of these women. So all you're going to do is vote 1 to 10 to make sure we got your 10s. And then which one stain on the brain. Mar, are you ready for this one?
I think so. I'm getting my robe open right now.
Look, Becca, I'll challenge you.
I want to be able to see my underwear while I'm watching Hot PiXX.
You bring some men so that we can enjoy the show from your perspective, and we'll do the men because it's kind of hard in this room to do that. You know that. Let's go to the first young lady. And do you remember the name Dorothy Dandridge?
I do.
That's that.
I
look.
do. She was bad.
That's right.
Fine. Lord.
The classic shot. I always say that when you go search and you look for the picture that has been the one that they carry the most, she has other pictures. They're cool, colorful, but this is the one when they said this was the classic.
Much coveted woman, and there's a whole bunch of stories about all that.
Right.
But a much coveted, desired woman of the time.
And remember, for me, many of the women probably are before the time I could appreciate them. Something like Nicki Minaj. Not like that, right?
Well, Mac just threw up into his own mouth. That's okay.
That's cool. Let me do this. PMC and Mac already dropped their 10s. I already knew you guys were going to do 10. Mario says 10. Now, when you see this picture, do you think, now I'm going to give you the terms and you can choose. Sexy, classy, gorgeous, beautiful, hot. What do you think, Mario?
Classy.
Classy? Yeah.
Beautiful dress.
Yeah. That's so true. It's so true. You know, and look, it's so easy to say 10s across the board. Becca says 10 because this is really about quality. I'm not just about big butts. You guys got on me yesterday about the big butt stuff, all big butts, and you guys were having
every day.
Have a problem with that. Today it's going to be a little bit different. Let's go to the second one because this is all 10s. When you all 10s, you just keep moving. The next young lady, all I can say is that she had a first name called Gina, and if you didn't know back in the days, Lola Brigida. Now, I always say this portrait look, although known for her body, she was known for her body, but back in the 50s and 40s, they were really focused on non-bikini styles that's not in the lane that, not really in the lane that we are used to now. So she has shots like that, as many of them do, but the classic shot, this reminds me of Halle Berry.
Oh, totally.
In its own way.
And I think I remember her in movies. I think it was Trapeze with Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis.
Yeah.
You know, she was bad. She's bad and has that whole exotic Latina kind of vibe that's thick, you know, from the Italians, you know, thing.
Right.
But it was good. She had an exotic, especially at that time.
Right.
Like Becca said, she was exotic.
Hey, when I see this,
she was bad.
And what you're gonna find out about these photos, that the hairstyles that made them their brand.
This was her look.
This was the look, and I go. Closest thing to Halle Berry to me that I've seen going back in the 50s.
I think she was on trapeze with.
Yeah, she was with Burt Lancaster and
one,
Tony Curtis.
That's the one where she was
hot. Wait a minute. Mac Portals said used to go to bed early with her photo. Fill the spaces.
I understand.
You know what, Mac?
Take your fingers.
This is cold. Let me say this. I'm gonna give you. Everybody's okay. You guys all got 10s. You want me to go individual?
She's bad.
She's bad, right? Hot, sexy, classy, beautiful.
I heard you say hot. Hot or sexy.
Right.
And that's what everybody knew about Gina. Lolo Brigida. What's that name? Don't it roll off your tongue?
That's right.
Lolo Brigida.
And let me say this. I wish I had enough time to bring you the stories that they had behind the scenes of the women that really were crazy about the actors. I'll bring that up another time.
Bert and trapeze. Bert was packing.
But let me say this. The person who had it the best, even after his prime years, Cary Grant. He dealt with all of them.
Did.
And I'll get to another story.
They wanted him.
I'll get to another story later. Let's go into the next. The next young lady. Oh, you know what? It's going to shut you down.
Snicky snack.
Have you ever blew the horn? Then you say Lena, right?
Oh, yeah.
Lena Horne. Classic.
Saw her in Porgy and Bess.
That's right.
Saw her sing I Loves You, Porgy.
You already know. See, I didn't get to appreciate this, of course, way before my time. Redbone of the time. Hey, you know what? Describe the impact of this woman as it relates to what you've seen displayed, Mark.
You know what? And the way she claimed her blackness, you cannot just talk about Lena Horne just in terms of her beauty or her talent, because it was also the way in which she represented. And for many of black folks of that time, she stepped forward to represent us. Right. As light as she was, caught up on all those things of the time, Vic, she still embraced her blackness and expressed it and represented, so that black folks came to celebrate her for that too. And that's why as she got older, she was even celebrated in a continual way. My father made me come see her.
That's what I figured, right?
My daddy made me come see her, just like Sammy Davis.
Right.
So I have to admit, I've seen them live. Beautiful, talented.
10 for you, right?
10.
Okay, you know that PMC dropped a 12 for the first time. He's coming over to the side of Mac. PMC said 12.
He said he has to break the rules.
You got to break the rules, right?
I know you gave in, huh? I understand.
Now, Becca says Lena is spice. Now, she didn't drop a score, but I have, unless she's less than a 10, she's a 10. I don't see anybody voting less than 10 for what we're seeing right now.
And again, since these are also historical, to me, you just can't. It's one thing to appreciate it in our time,
right?
But to have been there and understand all the political and social pressures that come to bear for being a beautiful black woman, and however that was being defined,
right?
You cannot get away from that because it was so much of the experience, and that's why I love your selection.
Right? Okay,
I love them.
If you guys didn't know, there was an explosion. Well, you remember the old Frankie Avalon pictures with the bikini, California? Even the bikinis were kind of funny in the sense they were a little bit loose, not as tight, different type of cut. Well, there was an explosion all of a sudden with a woman who came into the game that probably start to change the lane a little bit. And all you can say is Welch, 1 million BC. This was what launched her.
Poster child.
It was the poster that launched her.
Dude, how many people bought this poster? I think I had this poster. How many people bought this poster? Like everybody from like 11 through 18, I'm just saying, black men. I ain't lying. All through the hood. Everybody bought this poster, y'all, and saw that movie.
That's right.
She was so bad. She was so bad.
Just
so bad.
She was statuesque. Yes. She had very defined features.
See, PMC had the poster too. Everybody. And all your boys too, right? Not just you. All your buddies had the poster.
Right. Well, let me say this.
It's like that astrological chart posted with everybody in the different positions.
You're right. It is the poster that you keep. You never get tired of, and it's so funny because when you go look at Raquel's all of her bikini shots and everything, it's funny that this is the poster that launched her. Somebody else is going to be in my part 2 segment that had the same effect, but I can't tell you about that. But right now, everybody's dropping 10s for this young lady because she changed the game a little bit.
All of these have been game changers.
Yes.
It was such a big deal. Remember that movie, and then you wanted to see it again. How many people, even back then, tried, at least made an attempt to see that movie 2 to 3 times?
Forgot all about the dinosaurs.
Yeah, then you just came, you saw it again. Most of us saw it over and over as much as we could.
Oh, wait a minute, Becca, I like that one. You almost bought the poster to post your face on the poster. That's a good idea.
I can
you know
relate.
What? Mario did that with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I did that with other posters too. I did. Just had trouble with the complexion thing. It's cool. They had funny hair too.
That's right.
Me with my flowing blonde locks.
That's cool. All right, you guys, we're going to go over to our next one, and I'm telling you now, I think Raquel says she's sexy. But the next young lady brought a different situation from a conservative point of view because she represented class.
Dude, I saw those
Carroll.
movies with my daddy. You can go back when she started with Sidney Poitier.
Right.
I think in one with Harry Belafonte, whatever. Diane Carroll. Even when she did Julia, she was so bad, make you bite your lip. Make you bite your lip.
Right.
Hey, look at how that top. See, they were wearing them tops like that. Yo,
that's right.
Look at this dress and the sequence bosom.
Yes.
Lord.
That's what.
And look at her face and those lips.
Max said, "Yes, Lord." Whenever the term "Lord," not Lord, Lord is LAWD comes in there, you know what that means and how it's affecting that young man.
Oh man, she was just so bad. Just And just even when she did Julia, I was a preteen. I was like 13 or so I remember. When she did Julia, I was like, damn, that's the first MILF.
Yeah. What?
The first MILF.
You're calling her a MILF?
I'm just saying.
I can't believe that.
You didn't want Ozzy, Harriet. You didn't want Harriet. I'm saying when Diane Carroll and Julia, I was in that young age where you starting to have those and I'm telling you, we were looking at her, telling PMC, we were looking at her and adoring her. We wanted her. She was so fine.
Now, let me just say this. I'm going to apologize to Diane because she would have been watching this show as soon as you heard
PMC wanted
MILF, she would just shut down. So let me just say this.
To everybody, I'm telling you, we were all 13 and we didn't even know what we wanted to do. But we wanted to do something. I'm just saying.
Let me do the exercise of updating the scores, which I told you guys, nobody's doing less than 10.
PMC
all 10 knows. So far, right?
Right.
Okay.
I was in love with her.
Is she what they call uppercase class? In other words, she's really that.
She brought it. She always did.
A diva look, but not a diva mentality, or a diva mentality with the look. Because diva wasn't
a diva look, but she always came across so warm, comforting, down to earth. Remember Claudine?
Right. Yes.
Remember Claudine?
Yes.
And her across from James Earl.
Yeah, I remember.
Yo, I'm just saying, for a lot of us, this was some of our early fantasy.
Right.
Max's butterfly.
McQueen. I didn't want to respond.
I'm not even.
Just the voice. Okay, Mac, try to visualize that.
The
Butterfly
first
McQueen, Gone with the Wind. The first MILF. That's terrible.
I think Diane Carroll was one of my first.
You guys.
We had a crush on her.
Right.
As a black woman.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was one of the first on television.
You know what she was? She was like what Bill Cosby was as a leading father in the Cosbys, for the woman playing the role, and exquisitely beautiful, loving. I didn't even think about where's the father.
You know what?
I didn't really
That's
think
such
about
a wonderful analogy, because if you think about it, the character played, Bill Cosby's wife.
Right.
Again, was the next one of those MILFs.
You know what?
I'm just saying, because how fine she was.
I can't believe it.
I'm just saying, in these shows, because we didn't really want Miss Brady.
You know what?
Not really.
I apologize. I can think of other terms than MILF. Jeez.
I'm just saying.
All right.
We were young.
All right. Let's go to our last one, who I sit there and say, you know, when you have to go abroad, you have to think Sophia Loren.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you. Dude, this, I know. I told you.
Jesus, I was my mother used to talk about. This is when you went to the movie with your parents. My mother loves. Yes.
Oh my
beautiful.
goodness.
And all the movies. When you think of the movies,
You know what? There's a term I left out called princess.
Oh, totally.
And she fits that because she couldn't help but to be that way. And it's an international flavor like Gina Lollobrigida. Gina was really sexy. This was sexy, gorgeous, glamorous. She just had natural features. Just natural.
Man of La Mancha.
Wait a minute. Max is yes.
So many movies.
Yes.
Movies, so many movies.
Yes.
All the movies we went to as a kid, so many. Houseboat. Was he on Houseboat?
Houseboat was the movie. But only against one other one. Boy on a Dolphin.
Oh, yeah.
You know why she made it? I hate to say this, you guys. Houseboat made her look exquisite with the golden dress. That's what she got known for. But Boy on the Dolphin was the first where you actually said they're showing she's not wearing anything underneath in the water wet. And I said, no, I'm too young I didn't even recognize it until I got older. Boy on the Dolphin, if you ever want to go check it out. Now, here's a question now. Here's a question. Max said her birthday is the same as his. I know you shout out to
What are
her.
you trying to say, Max?
I know.
Just want to screw up the fantasy for all of us, huh?
Wait a minute. Like I said, that's wrong.
Yeah, that just blew my picture out the window.
Yeah,
Like watching ice skating, the Olympic ice skating with your gay friends. They just ruin it for you. They just ruin it for you every time.
That's wrong. Let me say it. Thank you. I have redeemed myself a little bit. I know. Now, no one has given a less than 10 so far. I'm going to say on this young lady, how do you describe? I mean, what are you going to say, princess?
Man, well, because for her time, remember, any degree of ethnicity that wasn't Anglo-Saxon white really stood out. Mm-hmm. So Sophia Loren stood out because of her ethnic appeal, the accent, the thickness of everything, the way she spoke, her body being a different, that whole thicker, fuller figure, and the mouth. So she stood out as the early exotic. This
is the only one.
Like Gina. Notice they were Italian, just like Gina Lollobrigida.
This is the first one. When I looked at all these pictures, now all of these are beautiful. But when I just said, "What's the first impact?" She was the only one that made me think princess. The other ones, glamorous, sexy, hot. I thought princess on this one. So everybody got 10s
for the
here.
picture.
Yes, because
it's just she so often played down to earth or poor. Like she would play a poor woman from the village and all that kind of stuff.
Wait a minute, Mac wants to know my answer. Okay, Big Wally won't let you down, right? I'll just defer to the next show.
Doris Day.
No, wait a minute. He wants to know about Woody.
I used to bone Doris all the time. Fantasy. In my fantasies, Doris Day.
We shouldn't be talking about.
You only had white women back then. That's all you had to go to TV. That's what you had. So I loved it. Everybody raise your hand. You like Doris Day.
Let me listen to
Everybody did some Doris.
Let me go to Becca. Becca, you are right on point.
Look at Mac
and let me say this. I will choose. I'm going to say Grace Kelly had the name. She was a princess. But to me, Sophia, she couldn't hold a candle to Sophia.
Just that Doris Day was in all those movies. Yeah, fine ass Doris Day.
Now here it comes, you guys. All of you guys are going to pick your one. That is your one that stands above all others. Mario, let's go to the top to the bottom. One name only. Don't give me your second and thirds. Just one.
All right. Starting with Dorothy Dandridge. Mm-hmm. All right. Next, Gina Lollobrigida. Of course, the lady, Lena Horne. And Raquel Welch.
Oh, Lord, this is hard. This is hard.
Diane Carroll. Oh, man, I'm just telling you. Oh, that was like, between her and Doris. Okay, Sophia Loren.
Okay.
Kept my prostate clean.
You know what? Look, here we go, you guys.
Kept the system flush.
You cannot mix. You cannot give me an extra You have to give me one name, the one that makes you, when you said her brand to me, your own personal connection is stronger than everybody else. Mario, you can vote when you choose. You can go up and down the pictures just to convince yourself now.
Yeah, for me personally, because of the timing, it's going to come down to between, and I'm going to go with Diane.
Diane, there you go.
I have to go with Diane Carroll.
There you go, Diane.
Because of our age group and the age at which she was there in front of me as a young man, couldn't even drive, little preteen, watching TV, drooling over her.
All right.
But Raquel was close, though.
Right.
Raquel was damn close. But see, Diane was a black woman.
Right.
And we didn't have any. So you went extra juicy over this. Like, mouth started stuttering. I'll say we didn't have that many. You would say, "Oh my goodness, a black woman on television, ma! Black." You would even run out and tell your neighbor, "Black person on television. There's somebody black on TV. Yeah, right now, tell them too."
Just say, this is what happens. It's interesting. I can't wait to give the final results. I'm waiting for Mac.
Remember that you go screaming to the house. Somebody black on television. Somebody black. Who, girl?
Mac.
Who black?
Mac. You got to give me your number one, and then I can give you guys all the results.
Come on, Becca.
Becca already gave hers. Becca gave hers already.
Oh,
she already.
PMC said Lena Horne.
Mm-hmm. I know. Waiting for Mac. Mac is the only one. It's really simple.
She said Raquel. Okay.
That's.
Come on, Mac.
No, no. Gina's playing. You know what she's doing? Gina Quayle. She's combining them.
Oh.
But so I take the
Gina
first.
Raquel,
but
I get it.
But I take the first name, so you already gave Gina.
But Gina was so bad, but she didn't have as much presence on, you know what I'm saying? She just had, Raquel they were marketing Raquel. Gina had certain movies. So
right.
You didn't see her all the time.
Right. Look, I know. See, you thought you were slick.
Yeah, Gina. So Becca said Gina Lola Bridget.
Right. So here's the results so far. Mario said Diane Carroll, the one vote. Becca said Gina Quayle, but it goes to Gina because it's the first name trumps the second part. Mac PMC, Lena.
Just like my daddy would have chose. See, that's for that generation, she was the one.
Yes.
Except for Dorothy was the runner, you know.
Right. Yes, you're right. You're right.
My daddy probably would have said Lena Horne.
Lena Horne because of natural beauty, the whole thing.
My father made like I had to go see her. You must see this. Porgy and Bess, damn it. Act like you like it. Okay, can we go eat?
I have to say, if I had a vote, the only reason why I would pick Sophia, because she reminded me of an ex-girlfriend of mine. That's the only reason.
You lucky son of a bitch, too.
That's all.
That's why. Well, you got to say, I had one like that. I had one sort of like Diane. Yeah, okay.
My hot picks is done. This was great. Thanks for participating. They're all big time, man. All of them.
Yeah. Nah, man. You know we gotta do a joint for the ladies, right? So every club worldwide, we gonna move y'all like this. Come on. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Big girl. Big girl. Big girl. Big girl. Big girl. It's Friday night when the club lines be out the door. Watch the silly